Hi everybody, this is Fadi today recording this intro session for you on behalf, instead of Dr. Aaron. Dr. Aaron is going to be covering the class for tomorrow on my behalf, and I'm covering and doing this recording for you guys for this week. So thank you very much for listening, and we hope you are enjoying the course and you are enjoying the learning that you are having throughout the session. I'm going to start by obviously sharing the information that you share with you every week. I just want to remind you that for Dr. Aaron's Barry's students, you can always make contact. If you're one of his classes, Monday class or Thursday, you can actually contact him and make sure you have your consultation that is available. And obviously for any of my students, that I'm also available to support you. There are so many ways you can reach out to me. I'm always very happy to go and help you out. So remember, we're always here to help you guys. So if you need anything, please make sure you make contact with us. And thank you very much for all your efforts that you've been demonstrating throughout the session. Today, we're going to go and doing a quick recap of the previous webinar's objectives. We're going to talk about the assessments for week 9. We're going to talk about the week 9 topic. We're going to talk about the learning objectives for week 9, and we're going to talk about the work to do before the midweek webinar on Wednesday. So last week, we started talking about important information about standards. We started talking about how product and support standard did emerge. We spoke about how there were so many standards available out there and people needed to know and find a way to go and deliver a standardized support. It was very difficult for you to get people to provide support to the client. There's so many various products that are available, and what are we going to actually go and teach our employees? We're going to employ one person who does one product and one person who does another, support another standard, one person support third standard. It becomes very expensive, very cumbersome, and not really manageable. So this is how standards started to come into play, because originally organizations said, well, let's make the standards different. And because we do it this way, we are going to be saving money. Why? Well, because we're going to have we're going to be able to make money, because everybody's going to buy our products. They can't go and use our product with any other product. So eventually everybody's going to continue to use our own products, and we're going to make money because of that. But then things started happening. They started having all of these thinking about how can we deliver something that is more standardized, something that is more important for us to go and use as as people who are working in this IT field, and specifically in the support field. So there are all of these common tools and methods for evaluating and selecting technology we spoke about last week. We spoke about any evaluation you're going to go and make, you need to rely on information. There's so many various places of information available. We spoke about how you can actually go and get information from the clients. We spoke about how you can get it from the vendors. We spoke about how you get it from publications on the internet. There's so many various sources of information. But then we use all of this information and we create a lot of this evaluation. Like you can evaluate by using numbers, you can evaluate by using subjective data, but eventually you need to go and use all of these tools available to decide what sort of technology am I going to go and be employing and buying into my organization. So we spoke also about all of these typical technology products, software products, hardware products, network products. Everything is available. Like everybody knows that one standard software, for example, is Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office that everybody goes and uses. Everybody knows that another software is the Windows operating system and the Mac Mac operating system. So all of these are standard in the actual market. So we spoke about all of these things last week. We also spoke about how organizations develop and implement their standards. Like they don't just simply go and choose something out there. They basically go and have a group of people. There's all of these support people. There's all of these managers in the support environment. There's all of these clients to speak to. There's a group of people who actually go and together collaborate and decide what do we need to do when it comes to creating the sort of standards that we're going to go and actually implement in our organization. Any standard, software, hardware, is going to go and involve making a lot of purchases. And those purchases, ladies and gentlemen, will go and cost us a lot of money. So we need to be very careful, what are we actually investing? Is that something that is going to continue adding value for us in an organization? Or are we actually wasting our time? Now, for this week, guys, we have the quiz. Obviously, it's the multiple choice question. You all know about this. We've been doing it week in, week out. It opens at 12 noon on Friday, 17th of September, and closes at 12 noon on Monday, the 21st of September. I remind you that you have 2 attempts, and we will take the highest mark that is available for you. We also remind you that the quiz is compulsory. I also want to remind you about another assessment that is due. You have your case due assessment, and if you go on the internet, the assessment section, you'll be able to find a section for assessment to case study, Turnitin submission, and you also find a briefing document that you'll be able to go and read information about the assessment, understand what it is. I really encourage you to start working on that very, very quickly because it is due on Saturday. I'm pretty sure the 18th or so. But anyway, just go and have a look at the information. Actually, I'll just have a look and confirm the due date for you. So the due date for your assignment is the 19th of September at 12 midnight. So please make sure that by the 19th of September, 12 midnight, you manage to go and complete your case due assessment, which is really important. These are the main cases that you need to go and be doing, the main assessments really for the subjects. Now today we are going to be talking about end user needs assessment projects, chapter 8 of the textbook. But we're going to talk about the basic strategies for performing end user needs analysis. What does my user really want? How do I actually assess what do they want? How do I ensure we're going to make the right decision to give the client what they want? So we're going to talk about the overview of user needs analysis and assessment. We specifically talk about 3 phases: the preparation phase, the investigation phase, and the decision phase. And when we talk about these steps, preparation phases, really we need to understand, what does the user really want? What are we trying to go and achieve? What's the goals of the organization? When we actually understand that, we can understand the decision criteria, like how are we going to be evaluating whether something is good or whether something is bad, and what are the constraints that would inhibit us from maybe getting the information that we need. For instance, we need to really clearly define a problem, identify the roles of stakeholders, and we're going to identify where are we going to actually get all the information that is needed for us to be able to go and analyze all of this need that we're trying to go and meet. Then there's the investigation phase. We're going to develop an understanding of the existing technology. What do we currently have? We're going to then understand all of these alternatives to the existing technology. Because there might be so many of them, and we need to decide, well, are the new alternatives better than the alternatives we are currently having in our organization? We're going to then go and have to the decision phase activities, develop a model of the proposed solution, and then we're going to make a build versus a buy decision. Do we do it ourselves, or do we buy something off the shelf that might be available for us to go and use? There are so many common tools that help support specialists to conduct a user needs assessment. We talk about the project charter. That's really the foundation of project management, which talks about what is this project about? What is in scope? What is out of scope? What are we trying to do? Why do we need to do it? All of these evaluation. We make a very detailed, actually not very detailed, but we make a cost and benefit analysis. Are we going to benefit really from having that specific technology being delivered to our organization? We talk about all of these data collection instruments we can, the internet, research, speaking to other colleagues, all of these potential ways of collecting the data. We think about all of these ways to represent that data, charts, diagrams, and so on. We talk about potentially prototyping software, which is, let's show you an example of how the software is going to be, so that you can see this prototype and say, oh yeah, that suits what I want, or no, it doesn't actually suit what I'm trying to go and do. And you have obviously the project management software that help you to go and track the project from the beginning till the end. You incorporate all of these tasks relating to the project, you put them all on a plan, and you start thinking about how we are going to go and deliver this plan alongside the whole team. The task in managing a user needs assessment project is, well, let's make a definition. what are we trying to go and do? That's really the beginning. Project definition, define the problem, define the team, define the responsibilities, define who's in and who's out, define the stakeholders, define how we're going to communicate, define how we're going to plan. You define all of this information relating to the project. Then you start planning, which is, let's plan. This is a task. We now understand it. It is very clearly defined. Let's go create a plan of how are we going to be delivering all of these initiatives. How are we going to actually go and deliver that specific items ourselves? So we plan all of these things we want to go and deliver. And after we finish the plan and everything we want to go and do, we have to go and think about how we are going to actually be implementing the plan. Now, implementing the plan is, let's go and actually get it done. Let's go and get people to start doing the job. I assign people, I assign the activities, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. And from there, we'll have the clarity about getting people to start working on all of these jobs. Then, when we are implementing the work, we need to go and monitor. Are people doing their job correctly? Are there any issues? Are there any ways for improvements? All of these things are things we need to very, very carefully go and consider. And eventually, our project is going to go and end. And when the project goes and end, the question is, did we do the stuff well? Did we not do the stuff well? We need to terminate it. We need to stop the resources, move them to other projects, pay the bills, finish the documentation. It's all about termination of that project and moving on to the next thing we need to go and do. There are so many tools available for project management. One of the most important and known things is Microsoft Project. Now, there's Professional 2013, but there's obviously always new versions available out there that people go and use. There's Kidasta Software's Milestone Simplicity. There's open source tools that many people use, Project Open. There are even tools available specifically for software projects, such as Jira, such as Trello, such as Slack. These are very specific to what is called as Agile Project Management approach. That is really the new way of delivering software projects in work environments. Whenever you go and create a plan, there's also a tool that is available, which is called the Gantt chart. And the Gantt chart really does give you all of these graphical view of the whole project. How does it actually look like? What comes first, what comes next, how the activities link together. Are we progressing and finishing the task on time? Are we finishing late? All of this information is really very much incorporated in these environments. And then obviously we have the critical path, which tells me, okay, you have 100 activities in this project. Which of these activities are very critical? Which of these activities are the most important activities that we need to go and actually work on and focus on? Because these activities, ladies and gentlemen, are critical. If you don't finish those activities on time, it means you will actually delay the delivery of the project that you have on hand. So it's very, very important that you think about the critical path and do manage the critical path very well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's so many terms available. I'm not going to go and explain all of these terms now, but we did speak about a few. We spoke about project definition, project charter. We spoke about a critical path. We spoke about Gantt chart. We spoke about a flow chart. There's much more. There's a lot more things to do. But what I would like you to do is I would like you to spend the time to go and look about all of these specific keywords. See what they mean. Just try to go and investigate them. What does a predecessor activity mean in terms of a project plan? What does a pilot project mean? What's a payback period? Is it part of the project initiation? Is it part of the cost-benefit analysis? What's the operating cost we need to think about? What's a model we use? All of these are various things that I would like you to go and try to investigate, think about, research, see how relevant they are. And then we'll basically have the opportunity to talk in more detail about all of these things when we are doing our session on Wednesday, God willing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's really all what we are covering today for the intro session. I encourage you to read chapter 9. It's actually chapter 9 today, not chapter 8. After reading this chapter, you should be able to rephrase the different steps in the assessment of end user needs in projects, including highlighting and describing phases in needs analysis process, common tools that help support specialists to conduct a user needs assessment project. We talk about tasks in managing a user needs assessment project, and we talk about project management software tools. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, you know we're very, very dedicated and very willing to go and support you. Anything you need, you just need to make in contact. So please, ladies and gentlemen, do not be hesitant at any point of time. If you need help, anything, we're very, very willing to go and help you. Me and Dr. Berry are committed to giving you the best experience possible. So please reach out if you need any assistance. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Please stay safe. Thank you very much for all your efforts. We care about you. Thank you.